A word from Jesus is all you need to breathe again, to live again. Chains are broken, God is revealed, raising leaders to transform the world. Dominion City welcomes you today.
Dominion City, the place to be.
There are 3 stages of growth and development. 3 stages. Okay, I'm going to show it to you like a house, a building. So I draw a roof. I draw the building. Then I add the foundation. You can see I can draw fantastic. I'm fantastic with this. Until you ask me to draw a human being, I don't know how to put the head. Okay? See the 3, and this is the principle you use to develop the discipleship system of the church. You want to build a school, you use the principle to build schools. Human development is broken into 3 phases. You find it in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. Let us make man in our image. So the first stage is developing the image of God in man. Number 2, let them be in our likeness. So the second thing is developing divine likeness, God's likeness in people. And the third is let them have dominion. Of course, the final stage is develop that man to have kingdom influence. So let me show you the 3 stages. Level 1 is the divine nature. That's what is called the image of God. Level 2 is divine functionality. That is what is called the likeness of God. Okay. And the final stage is dominion mandates. So I'm going to use another language to talk about the final stage. It's called kingdom influence. So, what do you do at the first stage? You're trying to reproduce God's nature, God's image in this man. If you build a God man, he will rule, he will have dominion. That's the principle. If you get a man to recover the image of God he had from the beginning, he will have dominion. If you build a man that is insecure, that's suffering from rejection, that does not believe in himself, that does not have self-confidence, who lacks the divine image, his self-image is distorted, he cannot dominate. He can't be a good leader. He will struggle all through his life. The first thing God is after is that image with it. So what is he all about? It's about 2 major elements. Spiritual plus moral development. Now you can see where the churches in America are having problems. They do spiritual development. They teach people about faith. They teach people about prayer. The American church has lost moral development. They don't teach character development, values, and all of that anymore. So you meet somebody who attends church, you meet the one who is in the world, their behavior is alike. Let's move to second level, divine functionality. What is he all about? Intellectual plus professional competence. Why the first stage has to do with spiritual development, the second stage has to do with intellectual development, cultivating wisdom and skill and knowledge so that you can succeed in life. Spirituality is not enough. That's what God is saying. Back in Africa, we have learned how to do intellectual development. They teach schools, people come out with degrees, with all this head knowledge, but professional competence and skill is the problem, big problem in Africa. And I'm looking at America again, I'm seeing the problem again. America actually solved this problem many years ago, where you created a system of education that not only trains, develop people intellectually, they equip them with skills to be able to deliver, solve problems, to create jobs. So that man cannot be poor. There's a training I'm running at back home where we're training people in construction, building, to be able to lay tiles, to be able to paint their building, to fix, assemble a house. Because anytime you see a well-done building, neatly done, if the man does not come from the western part of the world, they will hire the laborers from a few neighboring countries in Africa. When our people will do it, you will see it burn, you will see it, And what is that? The man might be born again, he might be a child of God, but the second level is not developed. He might have salvation, but lacks excellence and wisdom. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? Of course, the last is economic plus political influence. I'm grateful that America mastered this many years ago, but we're also seeing problems right now. American church is becoming silent politically. Some forces from certain quarters are trying to silence the church. Political influence does not mean that everybody will go into politics or government. It means that you should get involved in deciding who rules you and how you are governed, in deciding the kind of laws and policies that govern the environment where you live. Can I hear an amen? That's why Christians created your constitution. Christians laid the foundation of this nation. And it was laid on the Judeo-Christian values and principles. And it made this nation the most powerful nation on earth. And now, New Age ideas and philosophies, humanistic ideologies are replacing Christian values. Because the church has gone back in. We are doing spirituality and living our environment. The dominion is dominion over the earth. That's what Genesis said. Have dominion over the earth. You don't live your environment. You don't live your society. A church is supposed to be socially responsible. A social-centric church is God's idea of church. The church exists for society, not in isolation from society. God wants some of you to even go into government and help bring order, bring back restoration. But it's not just political influence, economic influence. God wants you to be wealthy. He wants you to have money, because money is one of the tools of dominion. So if you develop a man that has values, you develop his intellect and equip him with skills, the next thing is that you must give him ability to create wealth and to have a voice in society. Then you have built a man that is exercising dominion. Kingdom influence, social, economic, and political influence in any nation. And so, when we talk about human development, we have a way of saying it, that this is training the head. You know, there are 3 H here. The first H is training the heart. Here is training the head. And here is training the hands. Give the man something to do. Shape his heart with values. Shape his mind with wisdom. And equip him with responsibility. So a discipleship program in a church is also developed according to these 3 levels. Anytime you see people in a church, there are 3 levels of development. Some are still at the foundational level of development, where they are trying to develop their faith and develop their values and develop their character.